Hi, I'm here because I'm fuming about the corrupt cops in this world. On Saturday, the 6th of December, the Rebels Bikie Club went on a memorial run for a mate that they'd lost in January earlier on in the year because he didn't receive medical attention when the cops knocked him off his bike. That was back in January. Anyway, while they were out on their run, they were stalked by police, almost run off the road several times. And when they finally got back to Oat Street train station to go back to the clubhouse, which is in Bentley, it was a peaceful run, I might add. The police blocked off about 4 or 5 of them at the train station while the rest of them got through and went back to the clubhouse. One guy was pushed off his bike and terrorised by the police while news teams were there filming it, but it never made the news because I think the police wanted it to be stopped because it was their provoking that caused all this trouble. And anyway, the guys at the Rebels Clubhouse got a call to say that some of their mates were getting harassed by the police at the train line, so they went back to try and help them out. Then there was a confrontation between the two of them. They were all pepper sprayed. The thing was finished. I think maybe 1 or 2 of them got charged. Anyway, Thursday morning, 4:30 in the morning, whilst my son, Rodney, was asleep in his house in Harrisdale, all his windows were smashed, 2 sliding doors. The front window of his house, also his door kicked in by what they call the TRG, which was a revenge attack because he's a member of the Rebels Clubhouse. They got inside after they terrorised my daughter and his girlfriend inside. They held the 2 girls down with machine guns to their heads. They were all masked so no one could see who they were, of course. And they got my son in the corner in the kitchen. They hog-tied him with, cable ties, booted his head in with steel cap boots while tasering him for about 5, 6, 7 minutes and bashing him with a torch. After that, they grabbed him, they called an ambulance because his heart rate went right down to, I'm not sure, I think 55. They called an ambulance. The ambulance driver recommended that he lie down on a bed in the ambulance, but they were so adamant about him sitting up, being handcuffed, behind his back he was handcuffed, and they didn't care about his health, his welfare anyway. And meanwhile, my daughter and my son's girlfriend were lay on the floor screaming. And
what are you on?
I'm on YouTube. Yeah, and screaming on the floor with these machine guns pointed to their head. After the TRG left, no one knew who they were or why they were there. There was no reason for them being there. Then a bunch of police officers came in with a search warrant at about 5:30, I think it was, and searched the house, saying they were there on a drug warrant, which they found no drugs. They stole money off the table. I think my son had a few $1,000s there. They stole his jewellery, strip searched the girls, everything standard in a warrant, which was probably fair enough, and then left. Now the damage to the house is about $10,000 worth. There was no rhyme or reason for them to actually go to that house, smash it up. It wasn't a clubhouse. They knew no one was in there apart from one guy because they'd obviously done their homework, but it was just a revenge attack from the confrontation that they had at the train line on Saturday the 6th of December. While I might add, they were on a peaceful memorial run for a mate that had been traumatised and left to die by the police. Anyway, my son was taken to Armidale Hospital where he was treated for, I'm not sure, I think it was heart problems. And he was also tasered in the back He was treated for that, and with many bruises and boot marks to his head. And then from there, I tried to get to see him at the hospital. I wasn't allowed to see him because the police, which were about, there was about 8 police at the hospital, who all stopped me from talking to him because he was under arrest. They then took him to Curtin House, where they were quite nice to him at Curtin House because they were on camera there, I suppose, and people were watching. And at Curtin House, they then charged him with assaulting a police officer twice. Ha ha ha, what a joke. That was apparently from Saturday, the 6th of December, down at the train line, which they have no, I mean, these charges are going through, but they'll probably get thrown out of court anyway. Just like everyone to know how corrupt the police are, how they have done this for no apparent reason. Like I said, it wasn't a clubhouse. He has a 6-year-old daughter, which quite often lives with him. He also has a dog that stays there. Had the dog been there, the dog definitely would have been killed because fire bombs were thrown through the windows, which burnt carpets and lino in the house, or wooden floorboards got burnt by it. Like I said, I think about $10,000 worth of damage. All this because the police are very vindictive towards bikies. Bikies can't have innocent runs. They can't do anything. It's a matter of we're not allowed a freedom of speech anymore. We're not allowed to be the people that we want to be in Australia. We have to be controlled by animals such as the TRG if we try to speak or, give our opinion on anything that they do. And several pictures have been taken by the real estate of the house and by several members of the public and family. We spoke to the people that lived next door to the house where the TRG smashed everything up, and they said they were woken up. They thought it was gunshots. They thought my son was murdering his girlfriend, so they called the police. But it was actually their people were in there terrorising 3 people unprovoked, absolutely unprovoked. So anyway, I will put a few photos on YouTube now for everybody, and I'd love everybody to share this story and just realise that the police are corrupt, and I don't care what Carlo Callahan says. He probably doesn't even know what his guys do half the time because he's too busy with his own life. And yeah, so anyway, here's some photos.